Like and subscribe! You know, I feel like video game soundtracks can be kind of underrated. I mean, like, imagine, right? You play this beautiful game that has a beautiful soundtrack, get all the way to the end, you even listen to it after, and everyone still loves it, even people who haven't played the game, but they don't have the same connection you do. And like, I don't think this is a super common thing, but let's use Megalovania as an example. It is one of the most, if not the most, influential song from Undertale, one of the most recognizable soundtracks from the game. Even by people who haven't played it. I was actually talking about this with my friend Zach the other day, because I told him to listen to the Sonic Adventure 2 soundtrack, but by playing the game. And at first he was like, well, why don't I just listen to it normally? And then, like, as I started, I was about to explain why, but then he was like, oh wait, I agree actually. And he's like, and we had a nice conversation, a short one albeit, but we had a nice conversation about how when playing a game, the emotions tied to a song elevate it for you. There's a reason that Sonic fans really want a Crush 40 song, specifically Live and Learn, to be in Sonic Movie 3, because the emotions tied to a song elevate why you love it. Like, sure, Live and Learn is a banger, and I accept that, but when I listen to it, I remember not just the time I played beating that final boss, but as the theme of the final boss of the game. It brings all of those emotions from the rest of the game in with it, and all the time I've enjoyed not just playing it the first time, but replaying it, or just replaying levels, and all of that adds to your enjoyment whether you acknowledge it in the moment or not. Like, for example, I watched a lot of Digimon growing up, and the theme song for Digimon Adventure, I love it, but I recognize it's a terrible song, and that's because my nostalgia for the series and watching it on Netflix, sitting on the couch in front of the TV, all of that comes back when I listen to that song. I don't do it often because, again, it's not really like a good song, but every song has emotions attached to it, and I feel like video games, and hell, now I'm going to tie in anime to this, really elevate that because it's such a specific feeling. Like most songs, they're tied to, it brings in specific things you have felt before in your life, or if they're tied to a specific moment in your life, but things from anime and video games or cartoons or whatever, they carry that mental association because they are tied to something very specific, and it brings up not just the memories of not only actually watching the anime or playing the game, but also the time you spent around it, whether it was going to school, or maybe you had a breakup around the time, or maybe you were just sad, or maybe you were happy, maybe something great happened, maybe you loved the series so much that it gave you a new outlook on life. The music brings that back to you. And before I get into anime, here's one last video game example. The main Minecraft theme. The sound of the swelling music as each stroke of the piano fills your ears whenever you open the game ties very specific emotions to it. Whether it reminds you of that time you spent 6 months building a giant castle, or if it reminds you of that time you and your friends did a competition to see who could build the biggest penis. Minecraft fills you with emotions, and therefore the main theme does as well. I don't often find myself listening to classical music, but the Minecraft theme is an exception to that, because not only is it a well-written piece, but also because, again, it ties all of those emotions to it. It reminds me of that time I played a shitty hide-and-seek map with all my Xbox friends back in the day. It's the same reason listening to Hopes and Dreams makes me cry, or the same reason Live and Learn always gets me pumped. It's the same reason those final themes are always awesome. The way it swells in your ears, it fills you with an emotion, one that you'd be feeling regardless of if it was there, one that you'd be feeling regardless of if the music was there or not, but a very strong one nonetheless, only amplified by said music. And I guess we should finally get into that anime stuff I was talking about earlier. First, let's talk about an anime I fell in love with over the pandemic, and a fairly popular one at that, a little anime called Kill la Kill. Possibly one of the most recognizable animes. If you have not seen it, or really heard about it, you've at least seen the little PogChamp meme. Although seriously, I haven't seen it, I recommend watching it. On Crunchyroll, it's rated higher than both Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon, so seriously, I'd recommend seeing it. It's great, trust me, please, please, please. And if that doesn't convince you, maybe the music will. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about the main theme of the main character, Ryuko, with a little bit of the other character stuff shoved in there, but I mainly want to talk about Don't Lose Your Way. That's not the technical name of the song, but it gets the point across to the people who are a bit more casual than the hardcore fans. So, as anime tends to do, this theme swells up, and I've said that a lot. Fuck it. The theme swells in your ears whenever there's a big battle going on or some big character-related moment, and then this hits.
Stronger than before. Don't lose your way. Your mind free how to be as a one.
And it hits hard. This theme is the part of the reason I stuck with the anime, because god is it great. It exemplifies the plot, it really gets the point across, and overall it's beautiful. Please watch the show. Other themes of note are the theme of the main villain and her equivalent of Darth Vader. I don't want to like spoil it here. And these are all the same reasons why things like the Pokemon theme mean so much to so many people. It brings back memories of either doing one thing or doing another, or things you were doing around the time you did that thing. Music is so impactful in video games, like Cuphead, Hollow Knight. A lot of those tracks are super memorable because not only are they absolute bangers, and that's definitely part of it, but when an absolute banger is tied to a very impactful moment, it makes that music so much more memorable and have so much more meaning behind it. Another thing I was thinking about, or thinking about possibly making a video on this topic, was this Batman theme in particular, and what I associate it with. I associate it with Lego Batman. God, this sounds so stupid. But I associate it with that because I heard this rendition of the theme from that game, and it means a lot to me, because of all those memories of sitting down in the living room on our Xbox, beating it with my brother. I think we actually played the first game on a Wii. Either way, playing the games with my brother and beating them is an impactful moment for me, because I did it when I was a itty-bitty baby, and it's been so long. I'm so old. Ew. But regardless, this is just my thoughts on why music is very important to television, cartoons, games, and I feel like it should get a bit more respect in those things, besides people just being like, whoa, this is a banger, because maybe if you think a song from something is a banger, you should check out the show, or the game, or whatever. Anyway, this has been Eris. Like, subscribe, hit that sexy little bell, leave a comment too about something you associate with something, whether it's a song to an anime or a game or something that it's from, or whether it's associating a song to something else because you listen to it around the time of doing that something else. Really just something like music related or game related or anime related, just something that kind of ties in with the theme of this video, you know, something that feels right to you. But anyway, this has been me, Eris. I will be out. Have a nice afternoon. Bye. Like and subscribe.
Digimon!